Okay, welcome. Welcome. I will be here in just a minute. Hi guys, how is everybody? I'm hoping you're good. I'm still trying to get over a little bit of a headache from not having coffee all day, but I have it now. How's everybody doing? Huh. Somebody say something so I can see this thing's working. Okay, well, today I thought I would talk about a few things that people have brought up, such as misery programs. Oh my goodness, that's a big one. And how what we think actually has a lot to do with what happens in our life. Oh, shit. I didn't want to do that. Okay. Huh. What happened there? It looks like Facebook messed up again. Cut me off after 2 minutes. So I'm not quite sure exactly what to think about that. But I'm not going to start it just for Facebook. That's for sure. As a matter of fact, I may come off of Facebook entirely. Hey, Rob, how are you, honey? I talked to Natalie earlier. I hope you're doing well. Hi, Dee. It looks like Facebook kicked me off again. Now, as I'm talking here, you'll see a link in the YouTube live chat. Here, let me go back and pin it real quick. So if any of you guys, hi Alex. Yeah, I'm doing a coffee talk today, honey. But you can definitely be added. I think I'm gonna come on tomorrow. With that actually, and I'm gonna pin this. And that's if you want to come on with me live, um, you're more than welcome to do that. Are you doing okay, Alex? Did you see the rest of your reading? Because you seemed to disappear last time. And you were first up, so I went ahead and gave the reading on the last live. So I hope you got to see it. Anyway, so today I thought we'd talk about a little bit about how we kind of like with our attitudes and our thoughts, how we end up manifesting the things we don't want instead of the things we do. Fears are a really, really big part of that. Like a lot of people want to manifest out of I want. I want is a big one. And I want is one of the most worst things you can do because you're actually, when you say I want, what you're actually saying is I lack. All right. And that's what the universe is going to respond to, not the thoughts like coming out of your mouth, but what's behind it. So it's really, really important, you guys, when you want something good to happen. Oh, wow. Um, try to go to spirit with a spirit of gratitude. Okay. Like, this is already mine. It's already happened. I am grateful for it in this moment. And I'll be grateful for it in the next because this is what this is what I am worth. So you really have to understand not just the value of the intent behind it, but also your worth and that you're worthy. You know, every time something comes up that doesn't go our way, we often question, well, why do I deserve this? And it's not really that we deserve it, it's just that, our energy is setting that into motion, which is why I tell you every time you guys start worrying, it is really, really important to stop what you're doing at that moment and think about all the things that can go right instead. All right. And I know that's hard to do because sometimes we're faced with some bullshit. I mean, some real bullshit. So, uh, just something to think about, you guys, when you want to see. Hi, Natalie. Well, don't manifest mayhem yet. And we don't even realize we're doing it, guys. I mean, we have been so programmed to think in these ways. And we see, if we look around the world, where it's getting us, which is a whole lot of bullshit. So, somewhere along the lines, we've been lied to. Now, do I have all the answers? No, I just have what works for me. All right. And I can share that. And it's up to you guys to grab onto what sounds good, what sounds right, what sounds like it may work. Because Lord knows, I keep saying, I keep telling you, I'm just a high school graduate. There's nothing really special about me, but what flows through me is a different story. And Spirit seems to be liking what I do because it's supporting me every time I turn around. Okay. It's supporting what I'm doing every time I turn around. So that's one of the biggest things that I've been seeing in just the change in my mindset in the last year. Hi, Kay. I'm good. How are you, honey? I'm doing coffee talks today. Um, and that's more like where we get together and we just kind of chat with each other and talk about things that are on our mind and possibly how we can change it for the better if it's a worry, or how to stand more in faith instead of that fear, so we can bring that faith here instead of what they program, worry and money and life, and do I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and blah blah blah, are they true to me, and that kind of thing, because it's been predetermined. Society has deemed us stupid, I guess. And actually, I'm spiritual, but I do not call myself a spiritualist, because I think a lot of that is psyops, because spiritualists are so into I, me. Everything's about you. Everything's about you. And that's a mistake too, because when we make everything about us, we take away each other's power. Literally, we rob people of their power. So I'm just going to tell you, when you bring your energy into my realm, I'm going to hold you accountable for it. All right. So if you're not paying attention, if you're out for number one and there's no other consideration, or there's like manifesting mayhem, because it's I, me mentality instead of us, we. If people can't see how working together gets us farther than working separately and making everything about me, we make it about us, we. Um, that's the truth of spirit, is us, we. Okay? Spirit doesn't do anything singularly. It doesn't think in that way. It doesn't have the mindset of separation like we do, because we all look different, we all act different, we all think different. And that's why I'm saying you have a blueprint that you and spirit decided before we came here. And even though I can like share my experiences and share my mindsets and share the way I see things and my perspective, which actually has been helping a lot of people, um, you have your own. I cannot define spirit for you, because kind of like your father and your brothers and sisters, you're going to have a different relationship, and it's meant to be that way. You're supposed to write your own testament, all right? Not sit and make your life according to everybody else's. And that's why Buddha said, if you hear something that doesn't hit you right, then leave it alone, even if I said it. So Buddha had a good handle. And you guys know about Buddha, right? How he was a prince. He was a very wealthy, protected prince. And when he got older, he finally left the castle and went out into the world. And he was so disappointed and so heartbroken by what he saw that he renounced his princehood. He was actually a prince. He renounced his family and took a vow of poverty and to aid and to help. And he was so disturbed by what he saw that he sat underneath, I believe it was an olive tree or something. It was some kind of tree for 7 days in deep meditation, kind of like almost catatonic. And after he came out of that, he was no longer the prince, he was Buddha. And he really did some deep thinking under that tree, is all I can say, because it changed his life totally. And now He was such an influence. And it happened that quick, guys. All right. And so a lot of people out there right now are struggling with that spirituality and what they're seeing in their life compared to who they are inside. And a lot of that is because they aren't living the truth of what they are inside, because it doesn't seem practical in this world. And really, for this world, if you live your truth in a world that's full of lies, yeah, it kind of works against you. So we need to empower each other to find that truth as spirit made us to be, and to bring that into the world instead of what everybody else thinks we should do. Does that make sense? I hope so. So, what does anybody want to talk about today? Because Annette, I think, wanted to talk about dreams, but I don't see her here right now. So, has anything been on anybody's mind as far as spirit goes, or gifts, or how to find their gifts, or any kind of questions like that? And I'll see what I can't come up with. And sorry I was a little late tonight, but I had a banger of a headache. I am well, El Chico. I hope you're doing well too. Hi, Kylie. Hi, Kaylee. I'll get that right one of these days. How are you doing, honey? Did you have something you want to talk about today? Here, let me see how much of a lag we have going on here. I would. Do you have some weird ass dreams? Because a lot of people actually do. But I have been actually not too dreamy lately. Actually, for many years, I've not been too dreamy. But when I do have them, they're, oh my God, you know. Why, did you have a dream you want to talk about? See if we can get to the bottom of it. You do? Well, spill, woman. Because a lot of things that we dream about comes from our subconscious, and our subconscious speaks to us in riddles. If you want to, do you want to come on live? You can hit that link and come on live, and I'll put you on collab cam. It's up to you, ma'am. A night terror. Ooh. Okay, spill. I had one of those not too long ago. But in the end, I won. But yeah, any of you guys want to come on and chat with me on cam, I'll let you do that too. And no, you don't have to be beautiful and perfect. Good Lord, look at me. I'm a hot mess most of the time I'm up here. So what happened in your dream? Ooh. So you couldn't move, huh? That is scary. That's happened to me a couple of times. What do they call it? Some kind of paralysis. And what did you do, ma'am? Because when that happened to me, I couldn't move a finger. I was lucky to move my eyes. Well, that's freaky. Because I couldn't see shit when it happened to me. I just felt it. Right? Did you notice what was going on in your life when that dream happened, Kaylee? I mean, do you remember? Were you going through a spiritual battle at that time? Trying to balance yourself in any kind of emotional or mental or spiritual way? Yeah, they were trying to convince you it was real. And I actually have a theory on why this happens. Sleep paralysis, that's what they call it. I think it's a crock of shit. So what got you out of it? Yeah, it's kind of scary, isn't it? Freaky. But see, I felt like I was awake. I mean, literally, when that happened, I was awake. But do you remember what was going on in your life during that moment? Did you feel like you were like being imprisoned? Yeah. Well, I hate to tell you this, guys, but those kind of energies are real. They are very real. Um, and a lot of times when you're like struggling, yeah. Hi, Creative Arts. I'm doing good. We're having a talk about dreams. Okay, so what was going on in your life at that time, Kaylee? Like literally. That's cool. That's cool. But can you remember what was going on in your life when this happened? Aw, you're sweet. Hey, Aaliyah. Yeah, I'll probably come on and do readings again. Like, well, I do them on Wednesday night, but Loretta, I do I know who you are? Do you want to join the talk on dreams? Do you have a dream you want to share, ma'am? Yeah, I don't think that has to do with a financial state. I think it has more to do with um struggling like with self-image. And Loretta, you can join by clicking the link on the pin post up there, the pin comment. I'll let you come on. Yeah. Well, that's something that'll center you back in spirit, let me tell you. But what? And depression kind of draws that energy. It really does. Anxiety and depression will draw that energy. So I will try and talk you out of that every time I turn around, Kaylee. But what? Don't leave me hanging here, sister. I just watched the Demon House documentary. Yeah, did you kind of get scared a little bit? Did it freak you out a little bit? Ah, mwah. Well, I try and support you guys too. So, here's the thing. I just want to tell you guys before, don't hate me for saying this, but even that kind of energy has a divine purpose. All right? Um, it it has a way of, yeah, like you were, yeah, you couldn't move. To me, it felt like something 500 pounds was sitting on top of me. But it has a way of making you not want to experience that again. So you tend to do a little more soul searching when you run into those kind of energies. Yeah. Well, people don't understand when they like to keep like God or angels and demons separate when they're actually the same damn thing. It's just one we see as good and one we see as bad, which, I get that. Demons aren't fun. That demonic energy isn't fun. But, that negativity that allows those entities not only just to be created. Yeah, we have a hand in that too, guys. Sorry, but our stinking thinking and when we hate and when we're like angry at people and don't handle it well and we hang on to that anger and hate for a very long time and it keeps, yeah, you sending some energy out there into the universe that can help support those kind of things. um Astral projection is also real. So that could be because if they see you like tripping through the light, fantastic, and they see you have a light energy, they will be attracted to you. Yeah, every time I did it, it was accidental. But the difference between that and regular dreams is it's so fucking real. I mean, you can taste and you can smell and and that's a lot of things that doesn't happen in normal dreams when you're just projecting from your subconscious. Yeah. But a lot of times, those negative entities, the only reason that they can get to you is because of something within you that you're struggling with. All right. In other words, the fear, the anxiety, the depression, those are all like lower vibrational type mindsets and emotions. So if we're struggling in those realms already, which at the time I was in high school when this happened and it freaked me the hell out. Anyway, come to find out that, yeah, yeah, I could see that. Um, like I said, when it happened to me, I had never had an experience like that before, and it was like, what the hell was that? Because all I could move was my eyes, and it felt like something like 500 pounds was sitting on me. Oh no, I was professing, oh my God. I was, yeah. But the next morning I found out my grandmother had passed away too. Yeah, but it's not really scary once you understand you and you understand how much power you have, Gee. Is it Gee or G? Yeah. Well, that was a little bit different than my experience. It had my whole body. It had my whole body. Like I could actually feel when it left, I can actually feel my body rising on the bed. Yeah. So mine felt like it was a, yes, exactly. G. Okay. Gotcha, G. I actually think that that is because you did the same thing I did. You were like, "Oh Lord, help me. I don't know what the hell this is, but I can only move my eyes and I can barely speak." But as soon as I spoke, it was like, "Oh, help me God," was going through and my eyes were going everywhere. I couldn't see anything. Want to tell you what? Yeah, G, do you want to come on camera? Or do you want to tell us your experience and what was going on in your life? Because I didn't know my grandmother had passed away yet. I ended up getting up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was supposed to, usually I'm up at 5, and I couldn't figure out what in the world. And then after I got home from school that day, I found out my grandmother passed away. Yeah, G, do you want to tell us your dream? And what happened to you and possibly what was going on around you? Because I was kind of in a bad place. I didn't have a very good family, so I had not a good family life. Yeah. Well, I think my grandmother was actually one of my guardians because, oh, there we go. Got somebody coming on here. Hang on. Well, I guess not. What happened? Somebody hit the link and I went to put them on, but when I pulled it up, it wouldn't go. So you're going to have to hit that link again, whoever you is. Whomever you is going to have to hit that link again. Yes, it did. See, I didn't know a lot about my mother's family. I just know that my grandmother was actually the first one in her family that actually had a birth certificate, and because she was German gypsy, from what I understand. So I think there was something very, very special about my grandmother. Hey, Brett, how are you, honey? And I think that when her spirit left this earth, because I kind of feel like she was spiritually protecting me. And I think when her spirit left this earth, they could get to me. And let me tell you what, there are some like people on this world who the dark side knew we were coming before we even figured out for ourselves what the hell we were, you know? So we ended up in families of like narcissistic energy, and so we could discover who we are. True story. You felt the same way with your grandmother? Yeah. And somebody told me when they saw a picture of my grandmother, aw, I am good, Brett. How have you been doing? Yeah. But see, my grandmother never showed any of that. But my mother was always like really connected from the stories that I heard of her. But my mother passed away when I was very, very young. So I didn't have a lot of memories of my mother. But I heard stories about her just knowing things like when my brother came back from Vietnam, my dad was trying to keep it a secret to surprise her. He came back on Christmas and or around Christmas because dad was at work that day and he thought, well, I'll just go home and pick up mom and take her to the airport and let her be surprised that my brother's walking in. Well, when he got home, she was ready to go. And my dad was confused and he was like, what's going on? And she was like, oh, we got to go to the airport to pick up Skip. And dad was like, how did you know that? Like, he hadn't told anyone, but she knew. So, this is something that's kind of like a family trait. And I just kind of, when I was younger, I knew things too that I wasn't supposed to know, and I still know things I'm not supposed to know, so or I shouldn't know. But it's all good. But as far as I know, my mom never did tarot or tea leaves or anything, although my grandmother, she was a very, very English type German, so she loved her tea. She absolutely loved her tea. So it wouldn't surprise me. And my mom too. And they always drank the loose, like in the little teacups. So it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, you too? Your grandma? Yeah, it kind of runs in families. Yes. Well, I actually started reading tarot as a gimmick because people like the tarot. So I actually pull out the cards and it kind of validates what I'm feeling. Newfoundland, Canada. Well, I don't think it matters where on earth you are. Spirit can get to you. Um, so I started reading tarot about 7 years ago, is all. Yes, we do. And the only reason that I did that started reading tarot, because I did everything from feeling before that. Oh, nice. I totally believe in fairies. I'm like, yeah, I've seen some weird shit. Let's just put it that way. I've seen some weird shit, okay? And people don't believe me, like Bigfoot. I saw Bigfoot when I was a kid, and everybody in school, when I told them the story, laughed at me. And it was like the thing that I remember, because I was actually, I was at a camp, and I went out at night to take a pee in the bushes. And that's, yeah. And I was like in the bushes, and this thing walked by, and I tell you what, it was like that thing stunk. Oh my God. That's the thing I remember the most. I was just sitting there trying to be like really quiet and really, Oh, you would? Well, there's a place that I know of in Wisconsin that they actually they're fairy cliffs. And actually on the farm that just got that I manifested, that my ex put, well, we won't talk about that. May he be blessed. Um, oh, they didn't believe me. They thought I was crazy, but yeah, that was definitely a Bigfoot, and I don't care what anybody says. I know what I saw and what I smelled, and that wasn't human, you know. Anyway, when it finally went away, and because I mean, I don't see how it could smell me. But you want to see fairies? They love cliffs. They love cliffs. They love big old trees. And fairies love things like chocolate and shiny things. So create a fairy haven. And fairies, let me tell you what, they don't play either. All right. Everybody thinks of fairies like, I don't know, these nice little things that grants wishes. If this was in the 60s, I totally believe, because I read a reading. There was. That's because people like, oh, you don't know, you don't want to. Um, First of all, you can feel them. You can feel them when they're around, because you'll have I don't know how to explain it. You'll suddenly be in true touch with nature. No, they're not that nice, unless it depends on what you are. They're kind of like the puckwedgies. Do you know about puckwedgies? That's an old Native American or Native North American. Natalie, you probably know about them. Because they're kind of like trolls, though. And actually, all of them, until they came and messed with us, we lived naturally in unison with all these things. And then when they changed our DNA, um, we kind of lost touch with not only ourselves, the truth of ourselves, which was part of it, but you can kind of feel like the magic of nature. Well, look it up. It's Pukwedgie, Pukwedgie. Supposedly you're Cherokee from your mom and dad's side. Well, you really don't want to run into a Pukwudgie. Okay, a Pukwudgie is a Native American spirit that actually came to be helpful to man. And then Micmac, they were actually very helpful to man, but then man started thinking that they own them and trying to treat them like slaves, and Pukwudgies kind of turned against man. But Pukwudgies were the ones that helped men like learn how to fish and learn their earth spirit. I kind of think of fairies more as a good mixture between earth and air spirit. But Pukwudgies are full on earth spirit, okay? They have that kind of magic, kind of like the trolls. I do. I do believe in the skinwalker theory, but I don't believe all skinwalkers are bad, okay? I believe that skinwalkers happen because they're kind of necessary. Like everything else, they do a job. Pukwudgies? No, they're little hairy, ugly things. Oh yeah, skinwalker. That's kind of crazy. And some of the skinwalkers, hi Kay. Some of the skinwalkers, I think are actually more of an extraterrestrial origin, and then some of the Native American skinwalkers, they're actually there in protection of a lot of customs and a lot of they're kind of like justice. So, you know, here's the thing, okay? Humans, look how different all the humans are. And some of us, no, I haven't, but I want to, Natalie. I want to do a sweat lodge. And some of us are good, some of us are bad. Um, and that's kind of what I think about every living thing. Well, I say living thing, every conscious thing. All right. Some are good, some are bad. It doesn't matter what label you put on them. It doesn't mean they all have to be bad. Like Bigfoot. I don't think they're all bad. I think somewhere along the lines, we got messed with as human beings because, there's stories in the Bible about people living to 900, 1,000 years old, and they're saying, oh, time was different back then. Sure, they had 13 months, instead of 12. And guess what? It worked perfectly because every month had 28 days. Worked perfectly. I think so, Kay. I think different tribes can. You say tribes. I think that, we all have the ability to become, let's say. And I think some people are meant to become seemingly scary things to teach us that not everything is scary. And quite honestly, our idea, we should know that it's 10:10. We ought to know that, we were made for this earth, all right? So we're kind of the kings of the territory. Yeah. Has anyone yeah. Well, the sweat lodge, there's a lot to that. I mean, physically and spiritually, there is a lot to sweat lodges. And 11:02 for you. Well, my microwave is a little bit ahead. It's probably 10:02 here, actually. Hold on just a second, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back and catch up. Oh my Lord, I gotta get a place of my own. To us, yes, we are the masters of here. Okay, so we own our own energy and we own and control the energy around us. Right, but here's the thing. We live in a very physical world. The subconscious is actually what we manifest from. That's why mindset is so important. Because yes, not only are emotions like program our mindset, but also our mind as well, our subconscious. So we have to actively understand our own power, our own ability, and how our brain works, how our emotions and brain actually program the subconscious. That's why I try to help everybody be mindful of where their mind and their feelings are, because it actually sorry, we have one bathroom. So I'm sitting here going and somebody knows I'm drinking coffee, so it wouldn't surprise me if they're trying to make me uncomfortable, because people like to do that for some reason. Imagine that. So I might have to sit here for a minute in discomfort. So forgive me if I looked a little pained. Anyway, so yeah, we are actually the masters of this realm. Okay? Be outside. um and yeah, our emotions actually have a lot to do with our subconscious thoughts, along with mm, everybody says, your emotions will lie to you. I don't believe it's our emotions that lie to us. I think it's our mind about those emotions that lie to us. Pee outside. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a city, honey, right now. So if I have my skirt on, my long flowing skirt, no problem. But I don't. I just need to get my own place, really. Well, right now it's actually really warm. The sun was out today and it was beautiful. It was a little overcasty, but that's okay. But yeah, we actually have more control, like when it comes to the spirit realm and the demons and all that stuff. It's our world, okay? We control it. Our energy is what decides. If we walk in fear, that lets that shit in. Oh, I know I will. Because I'm on a roll now. I mean, literally, I've dimmed my light for so long trying to get people on board. And now it's just kind of, you know what? I'm not waiting anymore. Well, I can't say my emotions run my life, but I have a good, solid idea. I don't believe what other people believe about emotions, how they're weak and how they're this and how they're that. That's such a crock of shit, because let me tell you, if your emotions were so weak, that little child that's hurt inside of you, wouldn't be kicking your ass the rest of your life. So I kind of realized young that your emotions are pretty important part. As a matter of fact, your emotions can harm you more than your brain can. Although your brain can actually kill you if you're not careful. Hang on a second. I gotta go see if somebody's out of the bathroom. Give me just a minute. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. So, authentic quill. Welcome, authentic quill. Sorry, I had to take a pee break. Yes! I knocked on the door. It's like, hey, somebody decided to take a bath. But anyway, you peed in a park on a tree on your first date. Oh, isn't that always fun? You're too cute. I love it. But yeah, our mindset literally, you guys, has so much to do with a lot of what happens around us and what we allow. A lot of our emotions allow us, like people who go from the lower emotions of greed and self-destruction and me, and doesn't embrace the we us type mentality. And a lot of them like to call themselves healers, but as long as you're in the I me, I don't see how you can extend yourself enough to be a true healer. Um, not and make it last. Yes, it is. It's, well, I'd like to say I've been fighting these mindsets for 15 years. I've been demonized by the spiritual community. I've been demonized by the religious community. I've been demonized by a lot of people who are really at that, let's say, below anger mindset, because we don't understand our own power when it becomes overwhelming. The reason why we feel that energy so fully is because we're meant to change it. And we have the ability to do that because instead of the I, me mindset, once we understand us, we understand our own power. And we could literally walk into a shitty room and change the energy like that. But see, energy works two ways. So if you're a sponge, you're also a projector, but they don't want to tell you that because then you can go in and make people's day better and they won't be in like sorrow, pain, and easily controlled, which is why. Because when we're not in our authentic power, in our authentic self, what happens is um the world is actually programming us. Yes, you are responsible. But see, a lot of people don't know how to be responsible with their energy. They aren't even self aware enough to understand that I affect you. Okay? I know I affect you, just like you affect me. And I'm going to allow you to affect me because this is co creation. And this is why so many things are fucked up out there because we don't give each other their power. And then when we do give them their power to affect us and they bring the shit instead of the shinola, we aren't allowed to hold them accountable for it because then we become the bad guy, even though their actions are deplorable and they're working off of lies and deceit. And a lot of them don't even realize it because they're so wrapped up in their own toxic ego that they don't even realize what they're doing. And that's why I think it's so important for all of you empaths out there that are afraid to go out in public because you're a sponge, you're also a projector. All right. So you have the ability to not just be that sponge, but to bring that balancing energy, whatever that may be. Now, a lot of people say, oh, don't bring anger. Anger is bad. It's horrible. It's awful. It's this, it's that. Do you know that want is actually I want? This is what I want. This is what I desire. Is actually 25 megahertz lower in frequency than anger. Anger is higher in frequency than I want. Actually, I got it from a shop in Kansas City, and it's a whole set. See, it's a whole sheet set. It's not, and I think it stands. The symbols on them stand for happy, balanced house. So it's kind of like a and people be like, "What's wrong?" Wait, I feel like my energy is very strong. Yes. You notice when everyone, and as soon as my mood or face changes slightly, you can feel the vibe in the room go silent and downy. That's what I'm talking about. So we have to be responsible with what we bring and what we put out there and understand that balance is the key to success and happiness. All right. Balance is nature. Think about it. That's the natural state we're supposed to be. And if we're imbalanced, like if we're pushing one side or the other, then we're actually creating an imbalance. Like if we're out there trying to push positive, 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 you and Rob don't have an approachable face. Well, sometimes I don't either. Then what we're actually doing by trying to control the narrative instead of reacting honestly to the energy. El Chico Coyote is Rob. Yeah. But when we're out there pushing positive, 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 especially if we're not really positive, um, what we're doing is we're throwing off the balance. And anybody that knows anything about nature knows that when it's imbalanced, it'll right itself. So if we're out there inauthentically pushing constant positive, then what we're doing is creating a need for that balance. So we're going to get like totally attacked by negativity. But if we're in a room full of negativity and we sit down and shut up and we don't bring that balance, yeah, negativity kind of has the run of the world right now because we are not holding people accountable for their shit. And what they're doing is we're sitting down, shutting up, we're taking it, we're not being happy, we're doing the right thing according to society standards of taking the high road. Yes, exactly. Okay, don't sit down and shut up. That's bullshit. That's people. And then those people who want to argue unconditional love. Oh my God, run from those people, okay? Because they're actually taking advantage of you and they know it. Oh, you are not, uh, you're not very good at unconditional love if you don't let me do whatever I want to you and you forgive me anyway. So you're not being very spiritual. And it's like, walk away. Because first thing, anybody truly spiritual will not have to argue unconditional love. The only people, it's kind of like that, oh, you got, what is that I hate? Oh, you got victim mentality. The people that use those kind of arguments to me are telling on themselves. All right? Totally telling on themselves. I have no patience with people like that. Because number one, most people that say that are victimizers and you're standing up for yourself. All right? So people who use that word victim mentality, you just got a victim mentality, well, quit being an asshole. That's easy, you know? Maybe I wouldn't have a victim mentality if you quit trying to make me a victim because I ain't gonna stand for it. Um, and the unconditional love argument is just so stupid. Ah, I love you guys. So, I'm trying to flip this script on a lot of stuff, and I've been doing this uphill battle, and finally people are listening because now we have things like super empaths. I can't even tell you how many arguments I have gotten into with frickin' psychologists about the importance of being honest. Oh, Taco Bell is not healthy. Whatever it may be. And sometimes we're honest out of our toxic ego. And guess what? Even when we're honest about our toxic ego, it's still going to come back on us. What taco spot would I recommend? Well, I don't know where you're at, sweetheart. Yes, homemade is the best. So what? don't let them. If you stand up for yourself, they will look at you as a bet because we've been trained to always take the high road. I would like to see that. El Chico. I actually had corn growing in my garden before somebody stole it. Yeah, and that's a problem because I don't know. Well, I guess it isn't a problem. As long as they don't like ball up their fist and come after me, then I don't got a problem. I can yell and scream just like everybody else does. Awesome, Rob. That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. Like the asshole that stole my garden and let me like spend 3 years of my life building a future, and then just decided that he wanted to be a douchebag, and wanted to go play with hookers and stuff, I guess, and those kind of mentalities. Um, you know, see ya. But in the meantime, I was out 3 years of hard labor, and he actually made it to where he thought I was going to be stuck and not be able to do anything, and he was just going to come in and clean everything out. He wanted me homeless on the streets. He took my truck. He did all kinds of shit. And then he tried to say, "Well, you aren't very spiritual." And I was like, "I'll show you spirit. Actually, I don't even have to show you spirit because spirit's going to show you." Rob would never do that. Well, here's the thing. I'll flat down, get down and dirty. I don't care. If somebody comes at me like this, it's on like Donkey Kong. All right? You can say anything you want, but you better be prepared for what I'm going to say back. All right? But until somebody does this, that's a different story. You can say whatever the fuck you want to. But then when people start, get away from me. Oh, your words. Oh, you're violent. No, words are not violence. All right, they're words. Violence is when you beat the hell out of somebody. And trust me, some people's words make me want to just slap the crap out of them. I'm not going to lie. I don't think anybody on this planet can't have their buttons pushed. Exactly. And you have to be a real dumbass to make me really even get angry. I will be patient. I will be patient. I will say something. I will say something. I will say something. And yeah, that's why you got to have Rob by your side. No. First of all, we don't need anybody by our side but spirit. All right? Anybody that needs somebody else is codependent. And I freaking hate codependency. And that's one of the things that the narcissist will try and do is keep you codependent so that when you don't please them, they can leave you high and dry. Well, so does Natalie. Natalie's got her own spirit, trust me. And independently, if you're not happy with yourself and you can't spend time alone and be happy just being yourself, then you don't need to be in a relationship because you are codependent. All right? If you cannot show up into a relationship being a gift and a strength to where you can responsibly co-create better things together than you can alone, then you don't need to be in a relationship. No. There's a difference between wanting and needing, all right? And those that want to control you will try to keep you needy. Yes, there you go. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because Now, me, I made myself vulnerable because that's my lot in life. I will, because spirit works through me in ways that people will never understand until they actually have to. And then they bring it on themselves. But I will make myself vulnerable and trusting and loving so people can see how it's supposed to be. There you go. I was single for 7 years before I even thought about a relationship. But spirit is not fair to me because I have this energy and I'm supposed to be here to, let's say, shake up those lower vibrational energies that like to project and highly narcissistic, let's say. Because a lot of these people, until somebody like us shows up, they don't know what love is. Yes, you do. Well, can't never do nothing, Kaylee, and it's very possible for you to make it on your own. That's a mindset that makes you codependent. That is a misery program right there. All right? Now, you can't make it on your own the way that society has it. Yes, I do. Absolutely. Um, well, first of all, if you go to my one of the spirits that's around me, if you go to my personal Facebook page and look at my profile picture and pull it up, that is actually my aura picture. And you'll see a red line where the top, because I had my hair pulled back in a ponytail. Okay. Back here. So it was tight to my head. Yeah. I think I saw it before you did, Natalie. I think it surprised you. But if you look at my aura picture, you'll see the big ass angel standing behind me in the middle of my chest. Is one of the reasons why it's not about money. Is one of the reasons why spirit puts these really bad, like mentally and emotionally damaged people in front of me because yeah, it is expensive in Illinois. Um I forget the name of the taco shop up here on North Grand Avenue, but it's really good. Yeah, it flows. It's meant to. But that's one of the reasons why good people wind up with a lot of bad people because if and especially the psychics and stuff like that, it's not just that they're attracted to us, but a lot of psychics say, "Oh, I should have seen this coming," and then they are like really kicking themselves and down on themselves thinking that spirit is mad at them or spirit is this and spirit is that, and they ain't none of that going on. All right, the only way you're gonna really piss off spirit is to literally spit in spirit's eye, and you will do that if you take one of spirit's selected, I guess, and try to keep them down. Wow. Are you in Chicago, Kaylee? You're near Chicago, aren't you? 2000 Canadian. Yeah. That's a little different than American on the scale of things. Yeah. See, Chicago really is expensive. But we talked about that, didn't we? I'm going to the UK. Oh, I can't wait. Apparently, I got some attention to some people that I guess I said something that made them go, "What?" And now they kind of want to make a show. So, anyway, so a lot of spiritual people who get into these bad. Hi, Zena. Mwah. Oh, girl, that picture was so beautiful today. You guys just look so happy and so good. But spirit will put us in the way of these people so that they can actually see what love is. And if we knew that they were those kind of people, and it gives them the opportunity to raise, to make that choice. Yeah, I know, right? Um, and 9 out of 10 times they're gonna try and turn you into the bad guy, and you went to see Oprah. um, they aren't gonna. But see, what that does is now that they actually know love and they know the difference between, and they know what they're doing, and they know they're actually hurting and harming a good person. Um, when somebody like me volunteers to show up for that, like, okay, I know that there's a chance I'm going to get hurt, but I'm going to stand in this power anyway. That actually pops them up into a higher court. All right. So when they're down here being shitty with other shitty people, their karma is kind of bouncing off of each other. It seems like they could fall into a toilet and still come out smelling like a rose. But when they get a hold of somebody like us, that karma is real, baby, especially if you're working for spirit and the truth is spirit. When they mess with you in any way, that comes back on them. And it comes back on them in a real way. All right. So if somebody like me comes up and tells you, look, if you meet me, and I've been telling people this for years, if you meet me, that means you're at a crossroad. You have the opportunity to race, or you're going to have to face all the karma of everything that you've done in your lifetime. People don't believe me when I say that. Of the world. Have you ever been to the Black Coyote? You had it for a whole year? Oh, they should hire me? Yeah. How do you know what's karma? Well, right now we have a lot of these spiritual people out there who are trying to prove that they're so good in this and that they'll actually create mayhem in your life to say, look, that's karma. Well, no, karma. Let me give you an example. How you know it's karma? It's undeniable. Or spirit or whatever the hell you want to call it. It doesn't matter. And we to help me out here. Like I was looking at jail one time because of really messed up child support actually. Uh I don't listen to Taylor Swift nor do I support her. Anyway, um where was I? There was a man who was a manager, all right? He was making a lot of his employees' life a living hell, let's say. Actually, we did that. we used to do that. And Glenn Stewart Coles, who used to run Light Workers of the World, energy draining spiritual attacks, you've had to protect yourself so much. Um, yeah. But this manager was really bad. I mean, he would start off meetings with everybody lies. And it's like, I stood up to him and said, look, motherfucker, only liars say that. And people who don't do that are going to be very offended by you calling us liars when we work very hard to walk that straight line. Anyway, he was just very uncaring and very. And I told him, I said, you keep this up, Spirit's going to get you. Well, he didn't believe me. He didn't believe me. And one day I was at work and I looked at the office and I seen the lights off and everything cleared out of it and everything gone. And it was like, oh my God, this is going to be gone in 6 months. Because I saw the calendar that was on the wall. And I'll be damned if this guy didn't get hit by a truck on the side of the road. Boom! Gone. But see, he actually affected a lot of people's lives in a bad way. And I kept telling him, look, you can't be doing this because you affect hundreds of thousands of people a day. And yeah, he got hit by a truck. And yeah, he's no longer here. I have an ex-husband that same kind of shit happened to. My sister, my older sister, she got into a car accident. No, he wasn't because it was winter driving conditions, let's say. No, he wasn't charged with manslaughter. But people don't believe me when I tell them you need to change your energy. And they try and attack you. No, he didn't get off free. It is extreme karma, and it happens. He didn't get off free. What happened was Spirit took him out because he was making a lot of good people suffer. It is. Actually, that happened to me when I was driving a truck. Yeah, that was bad. Somebody decided to commit suicide in front of one of our trucks, and I was following the girl that actually hit him. It was not. It hit us. Karma does hit us. I mean, it's not like it's the way energy works, okay? The truth of you is going to come back to you. And sometimes people think they're this really good person and doing all the right things. Nothing outside of it was time for the wives to drive, and we were teaming with our husbands, and she was in front of me and I was backing her up. She was kind of new, not had been driving 18-wheelers as long as I had. Yeah, it's Twitch. Authentically is on Twitch. So, um, we were talking and she saw somebody standing on the side of the road, but she didn't, she thought he was just waiting to cross the highway. Needless to say, she quit driving. She quit driving. Well, one of the things that we have to realize is that a lot of the things that society says is kind of backwards. Yeah, I actually that's why I want to get 10,000 followers on TikTok so I can stream all to everybody at once. That's why I have to do TikTok separate because they're bitches. But like, let's say, you really try to be a good person and you're not out there like trying to scheme people or take advantage of them. One of the things, no, you don't see the responses on YouTube, but you see it up here. That's why I have it up here on the screen, Natalie, so you can see what people are saying. But like one of the things that happened to me was like it really comes from toxic ego. All right. 100% of the time, uh karma comes from toxic ego, bad karma. It can also be good. But one of the things that happened to me is I had this ex-boyfriend that I found out was a Satanist, and that kind of energy just really. Mm, so I kind of went off on him, and it was like, oh, I could scratch your eyes out. I was so pissed. And that was like my ego. And usually that's what I talk to, like, to spirit. I let that all out to spirit and I let them know, hey, uh, here comes my ego. It's got to go somewhere. So here it comes. And usually they put a bubble around me or something so that it doesn't. But I said that actually to the person. And the next day I got something into my eyes. And oh, I even posted it on Facebook, well, this is my karma because we all fuck up. This is my karma because what I willed onto this person was from my ego. I shouldn't have willed that to that person. I shouldn't have, said it out loud. Or if I did, I should have put that bubble around me first. So the next day, there was something at work that got into my eyes, and I was literally like, it itched so bad. My eyes were so red. There's a post on it about, there's a post on the whole thing on Facebook. So, I understood a lot of the karma things. And a lot of times, if we don't stand up, do you guys know? Uh, oh, the second one is my ex husband. Yeah, he had a tumor grow back. He had gotten it removed. He had a brain tumor. He had gotten it removed and got it clear for 5 years. We don't have to see again for 5 years. Well, about the time I was about ready to go to jail because of his fuckery, I got down on my knees and I told Spirit, look, I've done a lot of work for you. A lot of work for you. And if anybody in this world should not ever see the inside of a jail cell, it's somebody like me. Because I will bend over backwards to help out anybody until I see that they're trying to fuck me over or keep me under their thumb. Because I'm not meant to do that. But anyway, 3 days later, I got a phone call that he was dead. So I've seen really bad people get their karma shortly after I was involved in telling them, you can't be this way. You're hurting a lot of people. You are hurting a lot of people if you keep this mindset going. But in this case, he was hurting my son because he actually took my son away from me. And he did it through dirty courts and dirty means because, well, it's a long story. So you guys don't play with karma, okay? But everybody says, well, you aren't rich, you aren't this, you aren't that. Well, I don't want to be rich. That comes with a whole new set. I don't consider that being rich as a good thing. Ask Robin Williams. Comes with a whole nother set of the kind of people that you'll draw that you really don't want to. Well, this, El Chico, this is where I learned a long time ago that everything in this world is temporary, and our children are not our children. Everything is on loan. Yes, exactly. Everything in this world is on loan. The only thing that is ours when we come here is our spirit, and it's the only thing we're going to leave with. So I kind of learned early to appreciate all the time that we do have, all the great things that we can make happen, because as soon as we get too attached to something, spirit will show you how that's not so. Anything that we think of, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine. Anything can be taken from you. I don't care if it's people. Like, I guess I kind of realized that when my 5-year-old nephew died when I was like 16. Um and it's like, wait, this isn't supposed to add that. I was really hurt over that because that child was so amazing. Oh, thank you. But anything that you're attached to, anything that you think you own, ends up owning you. But if we turn it around and be grateful for everything, then we're going to have more to be grateful for, because that's what we're manifesting. So it's kind of hard. I mean, I went through a lot of shit. Actually, that happened to me twice. And I was an amazing mother, I'll have you know, an amazing wife, and these people were fuckheads. And my kid's life ended up being shit. Like, first time I married a Pentecostal preacher's son. And when I say Pentecostal, I mean both his mother and his father were preachers. And here I am, 18, 19, 20 years old, thinking, oh, he'll be a good dad. He'll be good. This is everything that I need. Well, come to find out, he was a drug addict, and he has. Now, keep in mind, this is somebody that was calling me a drunk and a drug addict. I can't even drink. It makes me sick. A drunk, a drug addict, a whore. Um, and this is all things that he was, okay? But with my wonderful family, my brother got in court and said, yeah, she's all these things. And there was no food in her house. The only thing that was in her house was bologna and hot dogs, which anybody that knows me since I was a little kid, yeah, I won't eat those. And I'm certainly not going to feed my children that. My cupboards were always full of food. But see, my ex-husband said, I'll give you $300 a month for taking care of the kids, or $300 a week for taking care of the kids while I'm out on the road. Yeah, it was the truck driver husband. And so my family member got in and lied, and I ended up losing my children because of it. Now, his wife actually came in and apologized a few years later. And it's like, why are you apologizing to me? I was a whole grown ass adult. I said, you need to get down on your hands and knees and beg my children for forgiveness for what they went through, because he had like 4 wives. They were all drug addicts, people coming in and out. They were just nasty people. Nasty. And my kids end up really messed up. And they are to this day. My boys are in prison, literally. My youngest isn't, because he actually got mom's brains and used them. But, my daughter got in trouble, my boys got in trouble, and this will all come back to him. Now, my first husband right now is uh really sick. He's about to lose everything. Like I said, spirit will take these people and bring them up, make them think they're at the highest heights, and then drop them down on their ass. So, karma has its own time and its own place. But people who are out there manufacturing it, trying to manufacture it because they think that they can prove something's bad or something's whatever, Please do. I love you guys. How come you don't see him? Because you got to look on the side of the screen. You got to look on the screen at what the screen says. He's up there. It's the little purple guy there. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go again. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't have coffee all day, and then I had to I drank like a pot in under an hour. Yep, that's what coffee talks about. So we can all get together and talk. You pray every day, things get better, and show you the way. Okay, Kaylee, what we have to do is we have to pick out what's good and live in great gratitude for anything that we can find to feel good about, and try to keep on that high note. Now things are going to get you down. Yeah, you're human. You're going to get mad. You're supposed to, and yeah, we're going to fuck it up. We're supposed to do that too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, authentic quill. I wonder where that person's from. Well, you have a special place in my heart. You all do. Mwah. I just love you guys. You're amazing. But karma's good too. So, if you take your licks from all these bad people and, you walk in that spirit, eventually they're going to get theirs and you're going to get yours, because what you do and the truth of why you're doing it will come back to you. Like, a lot of people give because they want to look good, they want to seem like the nice person, or whatever. So they kind of keep track of everything that they do, and they'll throw it in your face. Those kind of people, I think it was the Mahabharata that said you should always do good things just because you can make somebody's life better, or because you can make things better, not expecting things in return, even if it's like seeming like a good person. But even if you're doing things to get into heaven, that's still the wrong reason to be doing something. You have to do it out of the goodness of your heart. And as long as you do things out of the goodness of your heart, and your idea is for everybody to win, and like you're not out there competing, it's okay, sister. It's recorded. You can rewind it. We're having a lot of fun. But if you do it out of the goodness of your heart for absolutely no reason at all other than love, that's the kind of stuff that brings around the good karma instead of the bad. Because if you do things with an ulterior motive, even if it's to get into heaven, you're still doing it for the wrong reasons. Yes. And you should. If people feel bad because somebody else is successful, that says a lot about them. Because even with people I'm mad about, I hope they raise, I hope they, even though I know that, I hope they raise before karma catches up to them. But, you know, some of them just don't, and they won't, and they refuse to. So it doesn't surprise me when karma does catch up to them. I mean, when I hear about the deaths, though, that's kind of disconcerting. I hate to hear of anybody being taken off this planet because an empty vessel is no servant to spirit or the truth of spirit. So to me, it's like, what a waste of a life. And I'm just determined to help people see how amazing that they are and the truth of what they have the ability to do in this world and what they have the ability to bring for the right reasons. So that's my whole like reason I'm here. I always say, I'm karma incarnate. Well, we all kind of are. As long as you're living, your energy will come back to you. Sure, sister. Bring it. And you guys, there should be a link up there. If any of you want to come on camera with me, I'll do a collab cam where you can come up and we can talk and people can see you and you can say hi. I think I pinned it on the chat in YouTube, but I think you can only do that in YouTube. But yeah, the only way you guys are going to see each other's chat is coming over here. All right, Kylie or Kaylee, you're on. I'm not getting. Is anybody on Facebook still? Let me look. I thought Facebook cut us off there. That could be why somebody went to Twitch. But yeah, guys, I ended up drinking like a pot of coffee in a little over an hour, so that's why I'm peeing like a banshee. Well, right now, sister, that's not the kind of questions we're asking. If you want a reading, you can hit me up. But tonight, it's not about readings, it's about us sitting and connecting and being. Oh, shut up. Yeah, I don't think we have anybody on Facebook right now because I think Facebook cut me off after 2 minutes. So you guys like, share, subscribe, all right? Because I tell too much truth. Facebook hates me because all these electronic companies, um, well, you use Instagram, and Instagram is the same damn thing run by the same damn people. Um, I'm not doing readings tonight, sister. I do those on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and if you like, share, like, and subscribe, and hit that little notification. Sometimes I pop on here and just do them because I feel like it. Um, but I tell too much truth, so Facebook and other entities just absolutely cannot stand me, which is just fine by me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I only got 2 minutes and 25 seconds on Facebook. Yep. So they cut me off after 2 minutes. No, that's Coffee Talks is where we get together and we just talk about stuff that's going on. Like if you had a spiritual question, like we were talking about karma, we were talking about dreams, we were talking about um connections, we were talking about puck wedgies and fairies and all kinds of things like spiritual and supposedly otherworldly, but it's all our world, so it's all us. Loretta Davis. Somebody wanted to come on, like, oh crap, what happened? Are you still there? Offline? Why am I offline? Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. You saw what just happened there, right? As I'm talking about this, it starts messing with me. Hold on. Hold on. They're trying to get people off. You guys, I'm telling you, the electronics mess with me really bad. Yes, I'm back. The electronics mess with me really bad, and that's why, like, share, subscribe, because they're trying to shut me up, and I ain't about to shut up. But I am so, like, shadow banned, it's not even funny. So when you say, how do you connect with your third eye and your intuition? I guess it never really got too far away from me. Because I wasn't really guided by religion because there wasn't any of that in my family. So I've always kind of kept a connection to it. But if you want to raise your vibrations, there's a lot of things you can do, like be aware of your emotions, be aware of your energy, be aware of your mindset, be aware of what you put in your body until you get to the point where you could drink poison and it won't affect you. And yes, people can do that. All right. You are in command of even your DNA. People are saying, oh, these shots are going to change your DNA. The fuck they are. It's my DNA. That's a third party. All right. Even though I didn't get them, because it's like none of that shit made any sense to me. So what I do a lot of times is people used to tell me, "Oh, you got to meditate. Oh, you got to meditate." Well, I'd sit down to meditate and it's like I can't do this. My mind ain't going to let me sit here and not think. We've worked for millions of years to develop this amazing mind to be what it is today. So why do I want it to sit down and shut up? So I actually learned all the ways that I actually do meditate in a day. Yeah. They're trying to change our DNA, but guess what? It's your DNA. You are in control of it. And yes, you guys, just because I go offline there, that's people and things messing with the stream, all right? So, don't worry about it. Just hold in there. Uh, like I said, they kicked me off of Facebook, but that's okay. Fuck them. Spirit's gonna win anyway. I have that on good. Actually meditate anyway, like if you're really into a good song or you're really into music or you're really into um a creative endeavor, that's all a form of meditation. Fuck Facebook. Yeah. Facebook is evil, guys. Literally, Facebook is evil. And they've started wars, just the mindset, because they prey on your discomfort. All right. They want you to depend on them for your validation. I don't know. El Chico was the one that posted about DNA. Yes, it can help you connect, but be careful of what you gotta. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because for self-guided meditations, Joe Dispenza is actually really good. He's not bad at all. Um, you have to watch the ones that are that have the music attached to it, I guess, because a lot of the music that uh yeah, a writer, any kind of artistic endeavor is a form of meditation, you guys. So I helped a lot of people realize how many ways they actually already meditate. So it's not like you have to sit down and clear your mind and do this because it's impossible. You have to flow with it. Like when I sit down to figure out a problem, I'm not going to figure out that problem. I am going to think about that problem and be in my head. And as soon as I quit thinking about it, that's when the answer comes. So, keep yourself engaged in things that you enjoy. That's one of the ways to reconnect to and get that third eye open. Trust your intuition. Like if you get a feeling and I can't tell you how many times I've heard, well, that's a strange, isn't that a weird coincidence? There are no coincidences. All right. You have to realize that everything is there for a reason. And no, it's not strange. It's not paranormal. It should actually be seen as normal. So I'm not sure on why you're not seeing stuff in chat, though. You should be seeing it in chat on YouTube if you're on YouTube. Yeah. So we're just on YouTube and Twitch tonight, I guess. Facebook doesn't like me. See, that kind of stuff. I wasn't even on that page and it just started playing. And this is what this is why these that's why I call them digital Diablos. They're like, they can do anything they want. Is it a guided meditation? Like, does he talk? I worry about the ones that have like, 432 megahertz and this and that, and it's like, there's never been any of those that actually, there's been a couple that has actually made me feel really good. Well, that's because the creativity comes from that chakra, but sensuality has nothing to do with sex, okay? Okay. Sensuality has nothing to do with sex, and I have this thing, if I feel good about myself, I can do amazing things artistically and writing and stuff like that. Like if I'm in a good mood. But the artistic endeavors, until I feel good about me, I may as well put those on the back burner. So, your sacral chakra, which is in charge of your intuition, as well as your sex drive, because both of them will drive you, literally. Um, but we tend to listen to our sex drive a hell of a lot more than we listen to our intuition because we've been told that our intuition is just a weird coincidence when it's not. So the more you listen and trust your intuition, the stronger it's going to get. Okay? But right now, believe it or not, you're already connected. Your third eye is already open, but we have learned to ignore it, to where even when we do see things or hear things or feel things, we think it's just a weird coincidence when it happens, when it's not. It's not paranormal, it's not strange, and it's not a coincidence. That's the first way, is you understand that everything happens for a reason. You are not here by accident. You have a amazing ability, and sex is not what you think it is either, because everybody's out there doing it. If you actually knew what that was, it is supposed to be it's a sacred ritual. It's not just out there, oh, I like him, you know? Because what you're doing is you're literally connecting to somebody in such a way that all their demons you can transfer. And that's why they push sex so much, because it's like a very, very low vibrational consciousness. It's below anger. Yet everybody is out there pushing all the sex stuff, thinking it's got all this power when it's actually a very, very, very low vibration. And it's actually doing more harm than it is good, because a lot of people get into sex magic and get into sex this and that, so they can control you when everything fucks up. Because people's so in their ego, it makes them feel better when they have sex. It makes them feel better about themselves. It's not even about the other person. I mean, it's gotten to where it's almost sick. And people out there are like, watching pornography and getting stuck on porno. Oh, doesn't hurt anybody. The hell it doesn't. It hurts more than you could ever imagine, on only really selfish people. Um, or traumatized people tend to work from that kind of mindset and that kind of, and once they learn actually what it is, it doesn't rule you anymore. Like, I used to have a really big sex drive. Thank goodness I was married, though. Um, because I mean, to you, and you'd rather go in the back because you can't really get satisfaction from that kind of relationship because it's not what it's supposed to be anymore. Um, and that's what I mean by being selfish is this is supposed to be something that a sexual relationship is something that two people who have the utmost respect and love for each other naturally go into becoming one, because that's literally what you do with these people. You are becoming one. So you're taking on all their energy through that one act. Oh, sorry. So we're taking on all that energy through that one act, and we have the mindset that, oh, sexual prowess is the shiznit. Well, no, it's what's keeping us really, really down. And like I said, anger is actually a higher vibration than anybody out there doing that shit. True story. You ain't spreading the love, honey. Promise you that. That is the biggest lie on the face of the planet. But if it's done as it's supposed to be, which is a very sacred ritual between two people that have a spiritual kind of love, that's when it becomes something I've never experienced. I've only heard about, which is ecstasy. And I mean, that kind of ecstasy. Yeah, it's always been wham bam. Oh, good. Okay, I'm done. And it's like, that's not what it's supposed to be. So I would get those sex drives under your. It's being used wrong. If you're harming yourself or others with that act, it comes back on you. Like I know a lot of people that use sex as a tool to control. It makes them feel powerful. To I could never do that. Now I had men falling at my feet when I was younger, don't get me wrong, but I could never do that. So many times if I would have sold myself out for that, I would already be in a Park Avenue freaking penthouse when I was younger that I was considered beautiful, because it stopped there. That's all people wanted to see. And it's like, there is so much more to me than this outside. And see, a lot of people who the outside isn't what most would call so pleasant, they think that that's like the only way that they can get attention. And it's like, our society has been so focused on sex. Yeah, was there any drugs or alcohol involved in that? Because I remember times back when I used to powder my nose that kind of crap happened, but there was no like satisfaction in it. We just worked out a lot of energy. But yeah, that's just like, it's overrated, and it's really hurting society in a lot of ways because of our so focus on sex and our acceptance of it. We're now like pushing it on our children in school. Everybody says, "Oh, it doesn't hurt anybody." Yeah, it hurts the world. All right, because the more that they push it, and the more you accept it, and the more you go out and act like that, the more it's going to bring it into the world. The more it brings it into the world, the more the world it's going to affect. And there is no dignity to it, especially acting like, there's no good that comes from it, because what happens was people get addicted to that. It's an addiction. from low vibrations, just like very powerful spiritual tool. And people always think a spiritual connection will feel like an old shoe, an old comfortable pair of shoes. The last thing on your mind is sex. That's a spiritual connection. True story. So if you're getting all hot and bothered over somebody, chances are it's not spirit you're talking to there. It's not spirit talking to you. But I always tell people if it seems, it seems like, oh my God, I'm going to fall to my knee, da 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 da, that kind of excitement, turn the other way. Because that ain't spirit talking. Spirit's like home. Yeah. 111 or 222 or 111. Yeah. And to you. So it's not like the universe is bending over backwards, but still, in a way, you were supposed to see it and supposed to notice that there's something to it. So it doesn't really matter. Either way, it works. 222 actually has a bigger meaning than what we think. Up there, I went offline again. See? And I'm not offline at all. There we go. See? So you guys like, share, subscribe, hit that little bell. I'll probably be on tomorrow sometime for doing readings before Wednesday. And I've had some people say that they were unsubscribed. Well, 222, it depends. It depends on what's going on in your life. 222 can mean to recenter yourself and balance yourself because there's a lot going on around you and you tend to get lost. 222 is mostly about balance and paying attention to your surroundings and how it affects you. It also means that you need to center more in spirit as well. I get 222 a lot too, especially when I feel like beating the. When you piss me off, I just want to slap the crap out of you because I do much better from happy. I manifest better from happy than I do from. And people know that. And so they'll do things just to piss you off. And, that's my first. God, just get out of my face before I just want to punch you in it, 111 tattoos. Yeah. Well, that's a number 3. 1111 and 111 is mainly about you, your relation. I see that as the me, myself, and I, as in me, myself, my mind, my spirit, and the Holy Trinity as it involves like spirit itself. So that's kind of like co-creating with the universe. Whereas 1111 is kind of like the twos. It's more about a balanced call to action. Like the 111 would be more like the page of Pentacles, whereas 1111 would be more like the action behind it. Does that make sense? It's still in the same spiritual realm. 11123 11 any chance? Or was this, did you get them together or was this a coincidence? Was this a coincidence? But yeah, guys, when we see all this stuff happening and we don't follow our spirit and we do bad things or we do bad things to good people, your body will turn against you. Yeah, is that when you guys met? Was on the 23rd? Because that's kind of cool. I like it. Yeah. That would be November 1st or January 11th of 23. One or the other. January 11th. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I like it. I like it. But yeah, I could pick up I picked up your guys' energy right away, but at first I didn't know that I was talking. They tricked me. Because I didn't know that you guys were together when I first started talking to you, and it was like, wait a minute, I'm telling these people the same thing, and then we figured out, oh yeah, okay, that's I get it. But I think Natalie actually mentioned, yeah, I'm gonna bring him on here, but it's skipped my mind. And I believe I was giving Rob pretty much the same reading I was giving Natalie, only the background was different about the people in their life being like that twin flame energy. And they were like, really, really? I had no idea. But, right, sister, here's the thing about evil. There's only one thing in my mind that you can, even demons serve a divine purpose. I was talking about that earlier too. The only thing that's truly evil is anything that separates you from the truth of your spirit. S- People started looking blue and or red. What is the twin flame meaning? Well, to me, I use that because people relate to it, and it's really, to me, it's kind of stupid, but it is a divine soulmate, a true divine soulmate. In other words, you guys are put together by a hand that you just can't understand. And the reason why you're put together by a hand that people can't understand is because you both are at the same, well, this is the way that I see it. Spirit is my twin flame. All right. Spirit comes first before anything else in my life. Anybody that's done the same thing would be my twin flame. Okay. It's somebody that matches my vibration type um to a T, to where we have kind of a shared destiny for spirit, not just for ourselves, but for spirit. And so that draw is real. Now, a lot of people, what they're doing with this twin flame thing, it drives me nuts too. Especially the spiritual people out there saying twin flame this and twin flame that. Everybody's a twin flame. No. So everybody's now out there preaching. I never heard of it 7 years ago. I was like, what's a twin flame? And I guess Plato was talking about it way back when. Which, who knows? Who knows what we could have been way back when we were first. Hi, Surabi. Who knows what we could. I'm not making a list tonight, honey. It says so. Everybody, got on, oh, only a few people are going to be twin flames, only a few people are going to be this and that. So in the want to be special, they started selling this twin flame thing, especially the psychics. So When I hear every psychic out there talking about, oh, this is your twin flame, oh, this is, because I try to use it lightly, because I do believe that there are twin spirits that you know, spirit is going to put you together. No, we have a so yeah, in everybody's want to be special, that makes everybody all the same. And the true spirits never really wanted to be special. It just happened that way. But they know they are. So it's like you have to be humble without being like without letting people walk all over what you know you are. Does that make sense? You got to stand in your power. Yes. But you wouldn't believe how many people will sit there and pray for that soulmate, and then when they arrive, they treat them like shit. Yes. Well, there's kind of something surreal because nothing ever happens by accident. Nothing ever happens by accident. So, you guys are happy, right? So, someplace in your life, you've been a really good girl and he's been a really good boy. Ugh, yes. Yeah, it's kismet. That's your karma. That's your karma for the pain that you've had to face for being a good person, for being a trusting person. Oh, I don't know. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, creeping, so I had some soup, but I'll tell you what, when I get my own place, it's gonna be a different story. And I'm not gonna eat a bunch of this crap that I have to eat right now. Well, quit it. You have a kitchen buddy, right? Go get in that kitchen and whoop you up something. Taco soup. There's some more tacos. Look at that, Natalie. And it's not even Tuesday. What the hell? When you're, yeah. I just explained that, YouTube, Google, Facebook, they all hate me for calling them out. So it's probably one of them. But you can go back on the replay and it should be okay. Yes. And it'll happen. It'll happen. I just got to get out here and work it more because I'm not supposed to be doing the 9 to 5. Even though I do well at the 9 to 5, it doesn't pay the bills. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And plus the candles. Actually, I'm supposed to be selling candles and soaps and bath products that are nice and safe and effective and natural. And actually what we make is really, really good. So, yeah, you can. You can just pull it back. I won't get mad at you. But I'm not going to be on that much longer because it's like 2.5 hours so far. Tacos are for every day. Yeah, I know, right? But plus I might if you guys if you go back and watch the replay and it cuts me out in those places, let me know because I have a copy of it on my hard drive because every time I do this, a copy of everything goes on my hard drive. And I'm not showing any cutting out on this end. So I may have to like delete that and re-upload it. You have to work tomorrow too. Yeah, and it's probably late where you are. I just love you guys. Every time I'm here, you guys show up. And Rob, um, let's see, you're on. Yeah, I kind of would like to like touch base with you for a minute because I got some ideas today that kind of like made me a little bit nervous, but I think it can work to your favor. Ah, it's okay. Well, I'm about to end it anyway. Creepin', it's so good to see you, buddy. Um, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end because, like I said, I've been on for like 2.5 hours, and I feel like a lot of. No, we had some really good rolling going with all the like fairies and everything like that. Yes. Um, earlier, so it was worth watching. But now I feel like I'm talking my head off. Yes, exactly. Uh, you guys, I keep saying where there's one person with one thought, a divine thought, that person can manifest divine will. All right. Where there's two people, there you can do some divine manifesting. But where there's two or more or three people or more, that's some miracles, man. That's creating miracles when you have three like minds working in that higher vibration for a bigger picture than ourselves. Good night, G. Good night. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. You're amazing. I love you all. Um, everybody's like, well, why don't you want a bigger audience? It's like, I don't really want a big audience because then you find all the haters. I would just rather talk to my people. I don't want a lot. I just need the right ones. And then we can individually go out and help change people to stand in their own strength. And that's how we're going to take the world back from these pain generators. So I think we can do it together. So, anyway, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And remember, it's never too late to do the right thing all the time, every time. And don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't make a victim. Yes, I will, Natalie. I love you guys. So don't make a victim of innocence, not even if that innocence is within yourself. So stand up for yourself, okay? And stand up for the truth of spirit that's in you. I love you guys. I will see you probably tomorrow. I'll jump on here and do some readings. I probably won't be on very long. One by one, good night. But I'll make a showing before Wednesday night. Wednesday night is really the big reading where I try to get through the whole list, but um every once in a while I'll jump on and just do readings cuz so like, share, subscribe, hit that little notification button so you can tell when I'm here for readings and it'll say free readings with Authentically Alice in the title when I'm doing readings, and coffee talks is like us sitting here talking like we are now. But I will see you later, guys. You have a good night. I love you all, and so does Spirit. All right, there we go. Did it end?